The Robert Tech Jobs IndyCar Speedway League is on the air, live from Gateway Motorsports Park in sunny Missouri, I think it is. And we are here for the DW12 series chase, round 2, race number 1. And yeah, it's going to get exciting. I mean, 8 drivers left. It's going to be a good race. I have my broadcast partner with me today, Mr. Quentin Young. Quentin, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to today's race. It's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely.
What are your expectations for today's race?
Hopefully not a lot of cautions. I think that might be a problem because just with how slippery it is trying to get off pit road. If we can hopefully have people get on off pit road without problem, I think we could have possibility for long green flag runs tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I know recently a lot of the races have been quite a few cautions in a few races, but judging by what I've seen in practice, I mean, everybody seems to be pretty nailed down around this track, and they know what they're doing or know how to get around it safely. So hopefully we can have a pretty fun race tonight. Let's have a look at the timing and scoring right now. I mean, the times are pretty close right now. Bear me one second. Yeah,
you said people are doing good now, but I think it'll change once people actually start getting into a pack. And
yeah.
If you start the race and you got everybody running close together, I think you might see some guys not fully expect the way the cars are going to handle once you get in the pack together versus how it's handling by yourself or with one other person.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and it's going to be interesting what lines they pick around such a short track. I mean, it's going to be. I've seen drivers take the inside line, take the outside line, and have been fast on both lines. So it'll be interesting to see which line is faster and which driver wins out on whatever the line they choose. Anyway, let's move on to the standings right now in practice. With just under 7 minutes to go, Dylan Moskowitz currently sits at top of the standings with Johnny Antonucci second, 50 thousandths of a second back from him. Cody Eldred sits third. Terry Adams sitting fourth. Tyler Graff sitting in fifth place. Bob Lacavara in sixth. Mike Whitaker seventh. Eighth is Tony Rice. Ninth is Tyler Vickery. And oh, you're in the top 10, even though you're not running. Yeah, so you've had a chance to run around the track. How does it feel out there today?
Again, I didn't run in traffic at all, but by yourself, it's not bad. I said once you get into lap cars, I think or once you get into a group of cars, you get up behind somebody, I think you really see the drivers come out once you start to get back into the pack, because these cars punch such a big hole in the air. The aero push is relatively big.
Yeah.
When you get behind another car, so I think you'll see who the real drivers are once you get back into the pack.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll be good to see. I mean, lots of fun racing. I mean, IndyCar Speedway League has been synonymous for its close racing, and yeah, there's been a few races where we've had a few cautions here and there. Well, a lot of cautions in some races, but at least the racing has been competitive, and I'm pretty sure, with this being a chase race as well, the races will be super competitive, and that's what I look forward to. As someone spins coming out of pit road, don't know who that was. I think it was Tyler Graff. Yeah, let's focus on the chase right now. 1 second now, sorry. Cody Eldred is in the chase. I don't know if you know who's in the top 8. I've been away from the league for a while now, so
give me just a moment.
I know
it would be.
I know Dylan. Oh yeah, Cody mentioned it earlier. Cody Eldred. Dylan Moskowitz, I think he won on Tuesday, didn't he?
That would be correct.
Kentucky.
Won on Tuesday. Your final 8 in the DW12s are Chris Bouchard, Cody Eldred, Tyler Graff, Tyler Vickery, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavara, Dylan Moskowitz, and Johnny Antonucci.
And ladies and gentlemen, those will be the people to watch out for. The people that have yellow wheels and yellow numbers. Those are the people that are in the chase. Also, the Rookie of the Year category is up for grabs, I think, this season. I think Chris Bouchard has got a very healthy lead in that, but Tyler Vickery's not that far behind, even though he's lacking a win this season, but he's not that far behind Bouchard this year.
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing, this should be a very good battle for the final 4. Hopefully it doesn't end in carnage. Oh
yeah, and I'm pretty sure there will be some carnage at some point, but it's all part of racing, and that's what we're here for. We're here to see some good hard racing, and I know there's going to be some fans out there looking forward to a crash here and there. Now, just over 3 minutes left of hot lap sessions. Give you another update of the standings right now. Dylan Moskowitz still sits in the top spot. Tony Rice moving up to the top 10 now. Tony Rice is another one I want to touch on. He's been a very steady goer this season. He's been coming and going here and there. I think his best finish so far is a top 5 at, I want to say Milwaukee. And yeah, he's been somewhere in the top 10, but not completely up there. But hopefully he can turn that around tonight and see if he can get up there. Dylan Moskowitz he's running on a high since Tuesday, leading the hot laps session, as you can see right now, and hoping to get a win here in the DW12s and get himself into that, give himself a good chance of getting into that final 4 come Indianapolis.
Yeah, absolutely. The practice times, I don't know how much those are really matter at this point, because, like I said, some people were out running together and some people were running by themselves. So I think, because you see a few names up at the top that aren't normally up toward the front of the field, so hopefully, yeah, so some of it's people running a draft, and some of it's just people managed to get a good lap in. But hopefully, hopefully it'll be a good race, and hopefully we won't have a lot of cautions from the aero push factor.
Yeah. I mean, there's only, from what I can gather, there's only 12 cars out there that's actually going to be taking part in this race tonight. So I think cautions might be a bit low tonight due to the amount of cars that are actually on track. I mean, it'll be interesting to see anyway, regardless.
Yeah, I think you're right, but just getting on and off the pit road, I know, is going to be difficult.
Oh yeah, I did a few ghosting laps while I was watching the session earlier, and getting off pit road was impossible. Getting into pit road is going to be interesting as well, because it's going to be the normal situation where you come in just before turn 3, but if you get that line wrong going into pit road, you're going to be in the grass and maybe into the wall as well, so you need to be careful coming into pit road as well.
Absolutely, because another thing we're going to have to worry about too is pitting under caution, because you still have to enter in turn number 3, and you got to make sure you don't end up passing the pace car before you get to the pit entry.
Yeah. Right. 25 seconds to go of practice. Who's your pick to steal the pole then today, Quentin?
My pick, I'm gonna have to go with. Actually, I'm gonna go with Dylan Moskowitz.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to agree with you on that one. I mean, Dylan is on such a high since he got his first ever ISL win on Tuesday. So yeah, he'll be looking to grab that pole and maybe get himself another win this week and sweep the week. Okay, practice session is over. We're going to be heading into qualifying now. So we'll get timing and scoring up again. And we'll see what the times come up. It's going to be an interesting qualifying because everybody seems to be running at the same times. Your name's obviously popped up on the screen because you were in the practice session. So, yeah. Let's take a look at some people out on track right now. One second. There's Chris Bouchard on his fast lap now. He's going through 3 and 4 and starting his fast lap. Let's see what kind of time he can pick up. Going through 1 and 2, he's on the back stretch now. Heading into 3 and 4. Let's see what he can pick up on that first lap. He's probably not going to get the fastest time first time round. He's running a very high line going through 3 and 4. Coming down the start-finish line, he's got a 26.193 so far. So, interesting time. That's going to give him the fastest lap, I believe, so far.
Mike Winterborough, the fastest lap so far.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Lockmore with the fastest lap so far of a 25.75.
Let's go to Mike Whitaker, and he's absolutely flying. He's just taken the top spot away from Jose Olivas, who's moved up to 2nd place. Barely turned a lap tonight, but he seems to be very confident going into this race. Maybe he could be a challenger. Bob Lacavara going back to the top of the standings now. He seems to be on a hot one tonight. Very good in qualifying, but he seems to fade in the race. I mean, can he maybe try and convert his qualifying performance into race performance tonight, or do you reckon it might be another case of him fading away and finishing in the mid pack again?
It all depends. It all depends on a number of factors, but if he can start up front, I think you have a good shot to stay up there, just because I think it might be difficult to pass here. The fact the aero push is as bad as it is with this car, and the fact the leader is flat around here, and he'll have to lift a lot back in the pack, obviously. So that may play a factor in how easy it is to pass here tonight.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, let's give you a rundown of our top 5. Chris Bouchard, I was just looking at him there, and he's stolen the provisional pole position so far. Jose Olivas into 2nd place. Tyler Graff just moving up there into 3rd place. Mike Whitaker being dropped down to 4th. Bob Lacavara in 5th now. So the people that were running very strong in the early part of the qualifying have now dropped down. Chris Bouchard stealing that elusive pole position. He's got to also be one of the favourites to take a win tonight. I mean, he's been so good recently with getting his race wins. He took a very commanding win at Auto Club last week. I bet a lot of people will be putting their money on him tonight.
Yeah, I believe he was the driver who won here a couple of weeks ago in the Aero 5s. So Bouchard is somebody you got to look at for a win this tonight.
Yeah, and looking at Tyler Graff as well. I mean, he's the reigning and unfortunately outgoing Aero 5 champion. He just moved up to 2nd place. I mean, do you reckon he'll be looking for redemption tonight, given the fact that he's now lost his Aero 5 crown?
I don't know. He might. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's all to play for tonight. I mean, they're going to be trying to score important points. I mean, next week is the knockout race at Kentucky. Tonight they'll be just trying to score as many points as they can and move on to Indianapolis in 2 weeks' time. So
that's you got drivers that need to lock themselves. Or got everybody trying to divide to lock themselves in to the final 4 tonight with a victory.
Oh yeah, and I as much as I would love to see Dylan Moskowitz win it, I'm pretty sure the favourite tonight is going to be Chris Bouchard to take that win. Considering how dominant he was in the Iro 5 race, I think it might be just the same here tonight. Right, let's have a look at the final results after everyone's finished their qualifying laps. Chris Bouchard taking the pole position, 0.07 of a second faster than Tyler Graff, who sits in second. Jose Olivas grabbing third place on the grid, sitting on the inside row. Mike Whitaker in fourth. Bob Lacavara in fifth. Tony Rice starting sixth. That's a great position for him to start. Johnny Antonucci starting seventh. Cody Eldred, former IRO 5 champion, sitting in eighth. Tyler Vickery in ninth, and I don't believe Dylan Moskowitz, Terry Adams, and Curtis Martin not taking a time. Is Curtis Martin a racer, or is he race control?
I'm honestly not entirely sure. I don't think I've heard his name before.
I've never seen his name before either, but I've been away for a while, so I don't know these things. So, but yeah, Dylan Moskowitz not taking the time. Is he playing the strategy game, or is he? I don't know what his game is, but I'm pretty sure he knows a lot more than we do. So, hopefully, we'll see him making his way to the front slowly, and hopefully he'll get a good result tonight. Anyway, I believe they're having the drivers meeting right now, so we still have a bit of time before qualifying begins. Yeah, they're having the drivers meeting right now, so we've just under 3 minutes of qualifying left. I can just get rid of that screen. There we go. Let me give you another rundown of the field there. Chris Bouchard taking pole position. Tyler Graff second. Jose Olivas third. Mike Whitaker fourth. Bob Lacavara fifth. Tony Rice sixth. Johnny Antonucci seventh. Cody Eldred eighth. Tyler Vickery ninth. Quentin Young, you're in the booth with me, so I don't know why you're on there. Dylan Moskowitz will be starting 10th. Hanover 1st, Terry Adams will be starting 11th, and Curtis Martin, if he's racing, will be starting 12th, and shotgun on the field. So, you've already given your pick to win the race tonight, but who's your pick to win the chase? I know it's pretty tough for you. I know you're not in the Iro 5 chase anymore, but who's your pick to win the chase in either Iro 5 or DW12?
In the DW12s, I think Chris Bouchard will be very, very difficult to beat. And at this point, I'd say he might be in the 12s as well.
Yeah, but you can't discount the reigning champion, Mike Whitaker. I mean, he's done it before, so there's nothing stopping him doing it again. Tyler Graff as well, like I said, he'll be looking for redemption after losing his IRO 5 crown. I mean, it's all to play for. I mean, as a rank outsider, Tyler Vickery could even make it through, so we've got a lot of options, and there's a lot to play for tonight, and we'll be very interested to see who can actually make it through to, like, or maybe win it and get into Indianapolis automatically, and or get some decent points and give themselves a good chance of making it past once they get to the end of Kentucky. IRO 5s, I mean, the top 4 has been announced. Creighton Carter, Mike Whitaker, Chris Partman, and Cody Eldred are your top 4 in the IRO 5s. I mean, my money's by far got to be on Chris Partman. I don't know about you.
In the 05s, absolutely Parkman. Either Chris Parkman or Chris Bouchard are definitely going to be two that are going to be difficult to beat in that car.
Yeah, Chris Bouchard's not in the chase though. He's he got knocked out, I think. Cody Eldred. Cody Eldred is a former champion in the IRO 5, so maybe he could reclaim his crown this year. So he's another one that's looking good for honours when we go to Indianapolis, which is coming this Tuesday, by the way. So make sure you keep yourselves on lock for that one. I may be broadcasting that one again, just to do it again. Just remember, this is not on the Indycar Speedway channel, guys. As you already know, you're already on the Beaufort Broadcasting channel. And Martin is race control, so we have a race control tonight. Anyway, as we go to the grid now, let me show you our grid for tonight's race. That's not the grid. Okay. Oh, Cody Eldred stole the pole, so that's interesting.
You sure about that? Because it's still showing me Bouchard on pole.
It should. Oh, maybe.
The lineup it's showing me is Chris Bouchard on pole, Tyler Graff second, Jose Olivas third, Mike Whitaker fourth, Bob Lacavara in fifth, Tony Rice surprisingly up in sixth, Johnny Antonucci in seventh, Cody Eldred eighth, Tyler Graff ninth, Dylan Moskowitz 10th, Brayton Carter 11th. Never mind, it's not organized by grid for some reason. The last four are Moskowitz, Terry Adams, and Brayton Carter.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just my IRTVO playing me up, being a pain in the backside. But yeah, on your front row of the grid, we have Chris Bouchard and Tyler Graff. On the second row, we got Tony Rice, not Tony Rice, Jose Olivas and Mike Whitaker. Third row will be Bob Lacavara and Tony Rice. There we go. Johnny Antonucci and Cody Eldred make up row 4. Row 5 will be Tyler Vickery and I don't know, not Curtis Martin anyway.
Row 5 would be Vickery and Moskowitz.
Yeah.
And
you're
then
right there.
Terry Adams and Craig Carter.
That's the one. Okay, so not long now before we go to green. They're about to head away for their formation lap. And away they go. Bouchard very slow to get away from his box there, but I'm guessing he's just doing it for saving his tyres or something like that. But away they go behind the pace car. Lights are off, so we're only doing one lap around here, which is unusual for a short track like Gateway. But
I believe the track's under a mile. This is a mile and a quarter.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
That's
One
true.
thing as well, I'm not 100% sure how it'll affect these cars, but at least when we ran here with the IRO 5s, there was a massive bump coming to the green if you're on that inside row. So just off of turn 4, there's a big bump, and if you hit it wrong, it will spin you. So that's something else we gotta keep an eye on for the start of this race.
Yeah, we need to watch out for that. That might catch a few people out tonight, and hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully everybody has a clean race tonight, but yeah, like you said, there is that bump there that can catch someone out and ruin someone's night. Coming around the 3-4 complex. Pace car's just peeled off. The field is in Chris Bouchard's hands now.
And off we go.
And away they go!
The rest of the field. Kraft will slot into second. Olivas third. Whitaker fourth. And Lacavara running up top there.
Yeah, very clean start by everybody. Clearly they didn't hit that bump on that first lap. Bouchard off to an amazing start. Jose Olivas in third place. We see Bob Lacavara there in 5th place. Being chased down there by Cody Eldred. Tony Rice still in 6th place, but with Johnny Antonucci very close on his tail, and Tyler Vickery right behind him as well. Tyler Vickery getting off to a very decent start, staying in 9th place, but trying to force the issue on the outside of Johnny Antonucci and makes it stick. What a move by Tyler Vickery.
Absolutely. Now he's going up after Tony Rice to get in 7th place. Vickery, I believe, was the lowest qualifying out of all the chase drivers, so he's got a bit of work to do. Never mind, not paying attention today.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Vickery, he's the type of driver that likes to start at the back but slowly work his way forward, but he seems to be doing that already in this race, and maybe we'll see him at the front very early. He's already putting the moves on Tony Rice, and
the issue we've got to worry about now is Tony's got to worry about behind. He's kind of looking at the three, but he won't attempt to make the pass.
yeah, I'm surprised. I'm glad he backed out of that, because that looks very close between Vickery and Rice. Looks like Vickery's getting another run on Tony Rice there. Can he make it on the inside? No, he has not got the room there. Tony Rice doing all he can to defend his position from Vickery and keep that 7th place.
Yeah, what it looked like is when Tyler went to make the left, it looked like when he got underneath Tony Rice, and the car got a lot of arrow just like he got up the hill. As he tries again down turn one, it could not make it stick. Oh, Tyler Vickery is around and in the wall.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just having a few technical difficulties here. Just bear with me 1 second.
It looks as if Tyler wants it on his own down in the middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, let's go back and look at that. I mean, we'll see what happened exactly there, so we can find out what happened. No.
It looks like he tried to pitch the car down so he could stay off of Tony, and the thing just swapped ends down to the center of the corner.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Contact with the outside wall.
Yeah, I mean, he was racing Rice very hard. I mean, something was going to give, and unfortunately Tyler Vickery was the victim of circumstance there. Everybody coming down pit road except for Cody Eldred and Terry Adams. Bit of strategy being played early on as those two stay out. Bouchard, Graf, Olivas, Whitaker, I believe Bob Lacavara's come down as well. Everybody's come down pit road except for Eldred and Adams. So
also Tyler Vickery stayed out for some reason. I think he might have missed pit road by the looks of it. He tried to make it and missed pit entry, so he stayed out for another lap. But he's got severe front wing damage. I believe he has rear wing damage as well. At least, very least damage to the rear wheel pod, and damage down the entirety of the left-hand side pod.
yeah, I mean, it is an interesting situation for him to be in. Maybe he's waiting to get into pit road. He is behind those two. Did he lose a lap? No? No, he didn't.
I believe he just missed pit road by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's coming down pit road now, and Cody Eldred coming down pit road as well now. He just wanted to lead a lap and get that extra point. That leaves Terry Adams in the lead now. Obviously Terry Adams is not in the chase, so he's not really got anything to lose, so a lap in the lead, why not? As we've got Tony Rice and Dylan Moskowitz coming down pit road as well. So lap 9 out of 180, already under our first caution due to an incident between Tony Rice and Tyler Vickery. It's going to be a nice long race. Hopefully we don't have too many of these cautions, but got off to a very competitive start so far. I mean, the front guys kind of stayed lockstep for the first point, but the guys in the middle to the back, they were racing really hard so far early on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably going to be some kind of things to come. By the way, leading back to the restart will be Terry Adams. I believe he's choosing the outside for the restart. I can remember that, it seems like. Be Terry Adams leading. Chris Bouchard in second. Tyler Graf in third. Mike Whitaker in fourth. Bob Lacavara in fifth. Johnny Antonucci in sixth. Cody Eldred in seventh. Tyler Vickery eighth. I hate Mike in seventh. the back. I'm not sure he should for causing the caution, but Tony Rice 9th, Dylan Moskowitz 10th, and Jose Olivas running out the field in 11th.
Yeah, and just noticed Bob Lacavara blinking then, which is unusual for him. So something for race control to keep an eye on when they if they see it. But yeah, like I said to Tyler Vickery earlier, it's a very short field tonight, so hopefully the cautions are few and far in between. But we're already under our first caution, 1 to green, and hopefully we can get a nice green flag run in here. But bad things usually happen, so anything can happen, and it usually does. Mike Whittaker's sitting back pretty far behind Terry Adams, giving him plenty of room to get away on wandering.
Either that, or Mike's worried about the issue with iRacing, where if he passes Bouchard, or Bouchard gets a bad start, and Mike passes Bouchard, he'll get him a black flag.
Yeah, pace car peels off. And away they go. Terry Adams brings him with the green.
I believe Bouchard is clear in 2nd as well. Kraft in 3rd, Whittaker 4th, and Lacavara in 5th. Top 5 is single file. Vickery is side by side. Johnny Andrews for 6th.
Tyler Vickery, after his wreck that brought out that caution, he's not really learning his lesson, is he? He's still going side by side with everybody, but then again, he's got everything to lose in this race. I mean, in front of him is Bob Lacavara. Bob Lacavara is in one of those last 8, I believe.
You would be correct with that, yes. So
yeah.
This should be a side by side in turn number 3. Tyler Vickery is going to work down 6. Let's see if Tyler can run back down.
John Antonucci falling way off the pace as well. He's fallen right to the back of the field. Bar Tony Rice and Dylan Moskowitz. Dylan Moskowitz stayed at the back. Not sure if he's got any issues or connection issues, but he's not really made any progress since the start of the race. Cody Eldred going to the inside of Tyler Vickery now, so Tyler Vickery gaining a place and then losing a place in the space of a couple of laps. Terry Adams has now dropped to 4th place behind Chris Bouchard, Mike Whittaker, and now and Tyler Graff. So that spell at the front was very short-lived, but I'm sure he enjoyed every moment of it. Now he's got his teammate Bob Lacavara chasing him down. Bob is going to be hoping he'll move out of the way so he can give him more chase points, but anything, like I said before, anything can happen, and it usually does. And Terry may move over, maybe he won't. Who knows? Jose Olivas taking a wide line. They're going 3 wide down the backstretch now. Interesting things happening early on in the race. Bob Lacavara still blinking a lot. I don't know what his problem is. He doesn't usually have connection problems, but he seems to be having a lot of trouble tonight.
Olivas is by Vickery. I think Vickery might have struck the wall, to be honest. But
yeah.
Vickery and Wilfred has in fact cleared Bob Lacavara as well.
And the problem with Tyler Vickery is that once he gets rattled, he stays rattled, and it kind of ends badly for him. I'm hoping that isn't the case tonight. I hope he's going to brush this off and hopefully move his way forward. I'm not trying to be biased because in other racing categories he is a teammate of mine. So, but hopefully this setback doesn't get to him and he kind of ruins his race. But he seems to be running okay right now. I mean, like you said, he did brush the wall, so hopefully he can brush that off and move his way forward. Meanwhile, we've got Mike Whittaker spinning there. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's go and have a look back at what happened.
Mike Whittaker and Tyler Graff. Looks like
Going back and having a look.
Looks like Tyler got loose off of turn number 2. I'm not sure what caused it.
Go back and look. Oh! Tyler Graff getting loose there and Mike Whitaker having nowhere to go. Such a shame there. Tyler Vickery just going through the corner and the back end just went away from him, and Mike Whitaker just basically got a race car to the face. So, unfortunate there for those guys, especially Mike Whitaker, who was just running his own race.
I'm not sure if the car got loose or he had the brakes to stay off of Bouchard, because his speed dropped 4 miles an hour within a relatively short span. So I think he might have either had to lift out of the throttle or hit the brakes to stay off of Chris Bouchard in the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, either way, that was a very peculiar incident. I mean, cars can get loose, but I've never seen them like just go around like that. Maybe he did hit the brakes suddenly to slow down, but that just snapped loose on him, and Mike Whitaker, poor Mike Whitaker, he just had nowhere to go. I think Terry Adams caught a piece of that, didn't he? As well?
Terry took a race car to the forehead.
Yeah.
But I think Terry got away with it somehow.
Yeah, he's somehow kept it going. I'm not sure how, but... But as it stands, Johnny Antonucci is now your new leader with Tyler Graff's amazingly still in second after that spin. Chris Bouchard is now up to down to third after pitting, so he won the race off pit road. I think Tyler Graff just got an EOL because he's falling back.
I think Graff pitted with a close with iRacing Auto EOL, but Johnny Antonucci is in the pits this time, along with Tyler Graff.
So maybe Tyler Graff was surely carrying some damage from that, so maybe he had no choice but to pit. But Bouchard back up. Bouchard back to the point. Terry Adams in second place, and Cody Eldred moving forward for some reason. Not sure why. I think he must have got the second place. Tyler Vickery, like I was saying earlier, he must have shaken off what happened to him earlier, because he's now up to fourth place. So good.
Something must have happened to Moskowitz, because he's 2 laps down.
Dylan Moskowitz is still running. He's in pit road now, but maybe he had a black...
He had a self-spin coming off of turn 2 on, I believe, on lap 13.
Oh, wow.
He was up behind Tony Rice, and the car spun on him coming off of 2. It didn't bring out a caution because he ended up down in the grass.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, we were giving him a lot of props earlier about how he managed to win at Kentucky, and that he's on a high going into today's race, and maybe we gave him bad juju. I don't know. Sorry, Dylan. Anyway, going back to the front, we've got Chris Bouchard in the lead, Cody Eldred second, Terry Adams third, Tyler Vickery fourth, Bob Lacavara fifth, Tony Rice up to sixth now, back where he started, Mike Whitaker down to seventh after that incident, and Tyler Graff down to eighth after that incident. Johnny Antonucci was in the lead, but he's now dropped to ninth after pitting. Jose Olivas is in 10th place, and as we just mentioned, Dylan Moskowitz is at the back of the pack now, and he's now 2 laps down after a self spin, as Quentin just mentioned. I believe we're now, light pace car is now got its light off. We're back to 1 to green, so about to restart. Let's focus on Mr. Bouchard. I believe Chris Bouchard's picked the outside line, so maybe there's some grip on that outside line that they're enjoying.
I think the bigger thing is trying to avoid that bump on the start. This is right about where you launch down in for the exit turn, just as you got on the straightaway. So I know in the aero class here, everybody's picking the outside just so you didn't have to worry about that bump down there.
Yeah. So they go coming through 3 and 4. Yeah, I've noticed that Cody Eldred is taking a very high line as well, so I'm guessing you are right, they are trying to avoid that bump. Chris Bouchard going early, what a restart from Chris Bouchard. Cody Eldred.
Terry Adams and Bob Lacavara top 5.
It's an awesome restart by Tyler Vickery. Terry Adams asleep at the switch. Bob Lacavara under huge pressure from Tony Rice and Michael Whitaker and Tyler Graff. Reigning champions in the Aero 5s and the DW12 categories themselves. Right on the tail of Tony Rice. He must be quaking in his boots right now. Bob Lacavara, meanwhile, sitting pretty. He's managed to get away from Tony Rice. He's down. Got Mike Whitaker alongside him now. Let's go back to that, Mr. Editor.
Side by side with 3 and 4, almost 3 wide, and Whitaker wide open. It's not about a move in the middle. Tyler Graff on his inside. Single file back to number 1, 2. Tyler Graff looking to the inside, coming down the back straightaway. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a move down.
And here he comes on the inside of Tony Rice, and he makes it stick. Now Mike Whitaker looking for his next victim. He's going to be going right after his teammate, Mr. Bob Lacavara. Both chase contenders, so there's no quarter given in this race compared to how it was when Bob was catching Terry. So either this could be a really good race right now, or it could really end in tears. But knowing the veterans, we should pretty much see it being a very competitive race. But Tyler Graff is right there with them as well. So 3 chase contenders racing for position right now in 5th, 6th and 7th. Tony Rice backing off a little bit just to give them room because he does not want any part of that chase race right now.
You're correct, and Bob has to be careful of pitching the car off. How careful he is, because the car will start to get loose. Trying to pull it down. So he needs to be careful about trying to pinch it to the inside and defend against Mike Whitaker off next to the corners.
Meanwhile, back at the front, we have a new leader, Mr. Cody Eldred. At some point, has taken the lead away from Chris Bouchard.
As they are side by Tyler Vickery and Terry Adams. Then we're now back to single file for the final step on the podium.
Yeah, Cody Eldred at some point, while we were watching the battle between the 3 chase contenders, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavara and Tyler Graff, there was a change for the lead, and Cody Eldred all of a sudden is looking very pretty at the top of the standings. Still very early, we're only on lap 30, but it's looking very positive. We've got 3 chase contenders fighting at the front, and the other 3 more chase contenders fighting for 5th place. This is very interesting that we find all the chase contenders, maybe albeit in different groups, but all together.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the top 3 that are all chase contenders, 5th, 6th, and 7th are all chase contenders, and then you have Moskowitz and Stuleps now, and 10th is right at the back. But so we go with that. Looks like Terry Adams is starting to drop off of that lead battle, and I'm not sure if that's because he just doesn't have the pace to be up there, or in self-preservation because he's going to try really hard for the lead.
I'm actually not sure.
Because you got to remember, I'm pretty sure there's a bonus point for leading the most laps. So you got to figure Chris Bouchard wants to get back by Cody Eldred to make he doesn't have a chance to lead the most laps and pick up that bonus point.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he's 11 laps behind Chris Bouchard, who has led 19 laps of the 32 we've run so far. Cody Eldred has just run he's led 9 laps now, so all he's got to do is stay in front of Bouchard, and he's definitely got the most laps led. So that extra point will go definitely towards his chase points. But if he wins it, it wouldn't matter anyway, because he'll be automatically through to Indy. So he's sitting in a very, very comfortable position right now. Well, I wouldn't say comfortable, because he's got Bouchard and Vickery right up his tail. Vickery doing well to come back from his earlier spin to bring out the first caution, so he's doing all right for himself too.
Absolutely, a real good player, holding 3rd, and he's not really technically good for Tyler, but listen, Bouchard looks like he's starting to get the of Cody Eldred has Terry Adams makes it for third under Tyler Vickery.
Yeah. Oh no, and Terry spins!
Back up onto the track. Oh, good job fighting by Tyler Graff and Mike Whitaker.
No caution though, as they keep on going.
I think because he went from the grass to the opposite side of the ring, up into the gate, so it still triggered him as being off the racetrack.
Yeah. As Terry's back up to speed again.
The battle still rages on for your race lead between Cody Eldred and Chris Bouchard. Looks like Tyler Vickery has fallen off the back of that battle a little bit. As Bouchard looks to the inside, he's even with Eldred entering turn 1, and he makes it stick. New leader, Chris Bouchard.
Meanwhile, we'll go back and see what happens to Terry Adams, chasing Tyler Vickery down. Gets a huge run on Tyler Vickery and makes a very, very audacious pass on him into turn 1. Tyler Vickery actually slowed down to avoid Bouchard. Terry Adams got back up the track but just lost the back end and then went onto the infield. Great driving from Tyler Graff and Mike Whitaker to avoid him. And yeah, also Terry Adams managed to keep it out the wall, so kudos to him too.
Yeah, absolutely. As you're looking at the replay, Cody Eldred has taken the lead back. Chris Bouchard entering turn 3 a couple of laps ago, but doesn't look like Bouchard's done yet. Chris really wants that lead back. But I believe also Vickery, I believe, has lost the lead draft. So it'll be a matter of like probably 5-10 laps before he gets back into the clutches of Tyler Graff and Mike Whitaker.
Yeah, Tyler Vickery running all by himself right now. Got no draft from the front two, which is Cody Eldred and Chris Bouchard. That will give Tyler Graff the opportunity to make some time upon Tyler Vickery, his namesake, with a nice push from Mike Whitaker. He's definitely going to try and close that gap and hopefully get past him and gain some more points. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got the battle between Cody Eldred and Chris Bouchard is definitely heating up already. They are absolutely nose to tail going through these corners, and they are absolutely giving themselves no quarter.
Absolutely not. Bouchard is running as hard as he possibly can to try to get that lead back. Another thing we have to remember too, we're almost 20 laps into this run. You got to remember about tire fall off with these cars, and also the fact that we're going to have reflex off within the next 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they will be coming up on the green flag pit stops very soon, because it's like I said, they've done 20 laps already. So
this I said that Cody Eldred from the race lead.
Let's see how he does in pit road, because Cody Eldred is usually pretty good in the pit road situation, especially on the green flag stops.
Cody's in the pit lane. Chris Bouchard still continues to stay out and run laps. So, depending on how much longer Bouchard can go on this distance, he could play a factor at the end of the race.
Almost definitely.
Meanwhile, your third place runner, Tyler Graff, is in the pit lane now for his first green flag stop of the night.
And that's unusual for Tyler Graff, because he usually likes to be the very first one in pit road before everybody else. So for him to be coming in after Cody is very unusual for him. So interesting to see. Oh, Bouchard. Oh, did he get a penalty for that, I wonder? Because he didn't slow down until the very last second. Tyler Vickery in pit road as well as Mike Whitaker.
Bouchard's out of fuel. He went straight to the end of the tank. His car's sputtering on his way into the lane, or his way to his box.
Oh wow. Away goes Bouchard. He manages to keep hold of his position. Tyler Vickery comes out behind him.
Well, big slide for Bouchard coming out of the pit lane. Cody Eldred down in turn 1 and 2 at full speed though, so you got to see how the merge is going to work. Bouchard's not quite to free, and he's still only 167 miles an hour. And Eldred's coming 10 miles an hour faster. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Chris will take over the race lead, and then cycle of green flag stops.
So despite running out of fuel, the strategy still worked in Chris Bouchard's favour, and Chris Bouchard still keeps the lead. So whatever Angel is smiling down at him, giving him all that look right now, he should be passing it everybody else's way, because he's getting a lot of that right now.
Absolutely. Chris Bouchard is your leader after the first set of green flag stops. Cody Eldred maintains second place, but now is 3.6 seconds off the back of Chris Bouchard. Tyler Vickery is third. About a second and a half, less than a second and a half back now is Tyler Graff for the final spot of the podium. And then top 5.
Not really much happening now. Terry Adams is now a lap down after his spin, racing hard with Dylan Moskowitz at the back of the field. Jose Olivas has retired from the race, from what I can gather. He's put his car behind the wall, not sure why.
Between Johnny Antonucci and Bob Lacavara, who are nose-to-tail entering corner number 1.
And again, that's two chase contenders going at it. Johnny Antonucci dropping back early on in the race, but seems to be coming to life at this point in the race. I mean, we've still got a long way to go in this race, so I think it might be a bit too early to race as hard as people have been already this evening. So if this was if you were in the same situation, would you sit back and relax and wait until near the end, or would you attack now like everybody else seems to be doing?
I would have tried to get to the front and try to get away, honestly. Being up front is the same place you can be. So that would have probably been my strategy.
And speaking of getting to the front and getting away, Chris Bouchard now has a 3.8 second lead over second place Cody Eldred, who himself has a 3.1 lead over Tyler Vickery. So
an absolutely fantastic job getting on and off the pit lane from Chris Bouchard, even with the slide coming off of the pit exit.
And the fact that he ran out of fuel as well. That was amazing.
Yeah, like I said, he ran out of fuel in the pit lane and he had a massive slide out of the pit lane in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Even with that, he still managed to create a 3.8 second lead. Great job by him. And there's a Vickery between the gap between Vickery and Graff is down to 1.1.
Yeah, so that's your battle there, but I'm going to go back to Bob Lacavara and Johnny Antonucci, because that is our closest battle out on track right now, and they are absolutely nose to tail going into turn 1 right now and turn 2.
Absolutely. Another thing with those, they are only about half the straightaway ahead of Chris Bouchard.
Yeah, so they are absolutely flying, and yet again they're both chase contenders and they're both teammates as well, so they seem to be giving both a lot of respect, but when it comes down to the chase, you can't really, it's every person for themselves. So I think at this point of the season, respect goes out the window. I think teammates no longer become teammates, and they kind of need to focus on that, really.
Yeah, I don't think you're ready for that, especially because it gets to the point where you're trying to lock yourself into the final 4.
Oh yeah.
And at some point, the final 4 becomes more important than helping your teammates.
And it just looks to me like Johnny is making no attempt to get past Bob at all, and Bob is actually starting to put a gap between him and Johnny.
Yeah, they're they're losing 2.5 3/10 laps.
That's still our closest battle on the track. I mean, there's still a second between Tyler Vickery and Tyler Graff. Tyler Graff trying all he can to close that gap between him and his namesake, but Tyler Vickery just seems to be keeping that.
Going down the front straightaway. I'm going to run off the top side though, so Lacavara is still in front of Johnny and Luke for P number 7.
Just as I focus away, they get back into a battle again. So Johnny is actually putting moves on Bob Lacavara, taking a very deep line going into turn 3, coming out in turn 4. Bob Lacavara blinking again. That might not work in his favour at all, because race control might take a very dim view on that, especially due to it being a race between chase contenders.
Absolutely, as Antonucci, another looking down around the outside.
Yeah, and hopefully Bob can get those connection issues fixed very quickly, because last thing we want is for him to have a wreck due to his blinking and like involving not only another chase contender but a teammate as well. So like it'd be like a triple whammy if that happened to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Graff is closing about a 10th a lap onto the back of the victory gap is now down to just over 7/10 of a second.
I'm not sure what happened because
caution. Johnny self-spun off a turn 2. I'm not sure.
And we're under caution, yeah.
Didn't catch the curve. Looks like he just walked in the center. Before the exit, the car just swapped ends on him.
Let's go back and watch that, folks.
Looks like the same general situation as Tyler, except for the bit later in the corner, where he went inside of somebody and tried to clear the corner, trying to keep it down, and the thing just swapped ends on him.
It's just one of those situations where you have to take a very specific line going into the corner, otherwise you're going to end up facing the wrong way on a one-way street. And that's happened twice now. I mean, Tyler Graff, it happened to Tyler Graff, and now it's happened to Johnny Antonucci. I think it's Johnny Antonucci took completely the wrong line going into that corner, and that's what made him spin like he did.
Yeah, like I said, he made the exact same situation as Tyler Graff going off in the Tyler Vickery down in turn number 1, where he went to the inside of somebody, went into the corner, and the car swapped ends, trying to keep it pinned down. But as like I said, that's under our, I believe, 4th caution of the night, and everybody is in pit lane with the exception of Terry Adams, who is at lane lap. Johnny Antonucci stayed out probably so he can get away from him. I'm not 100% sure why Johnny would stay out rather than. I forgot Johnny's lap down. Never mind. Terry Adams for free pass. Yeah, Terry Adams stayed out. He's your lucky dog. Johnny Antonucci stayed out because he was again the lap down and caused the caution. Dylan Moskowitz. Bob Lacavara stayed out. I'm not probably might be trying to lead a lap.
Maybe. I mean, Dylan Moskowitz is a lap down. Johnny Antonucci is also a lap down. So yeah, Bob Lacavara leading a lap. So it's another point for us.
Not yet. It didn't pick him to the lead of the line because he was so far back.
Yeah. Once he crosses that line, though, he's going to be given an all-important chase point. So, Chris Bouchard has led this race 39 laps. Cody Eldred second place on laps led with 18. Hanover Fist, Terry Adams, he's led 3 laps, and Johnny Antonucci has led 1 lap. So, Johnny Antonucci has got an all-important chase point, and obviously Cody and Chris Bouchard have led laps as well, and unfortunately Bob won't get that point now because he decided to go in pit road before he hit the start finish line.
Yeah, I was getting ready to bring that up. I hate to be the downer, but he didn't even get his lap led, so he'll have to try again on another caution flag.
And that's if there is another caution flag. I mean, they're getting some decent long runs in between cautions, so you never know what could happen between now and lap 180. Seeing all the cars there under caution. Chris Bouchard as our leader. Cody Eldred sitting second, Tyler Vickery third, Tyler Graff fourth, Mike Whitaker fifth. So that's 5 chase drivers all restarting together when we go green again. Then we got Tony Rice, who's not in the chase, sitting in 6th place. Bob Lacavara down to 7th after pitting and under caution. Terry Adams in 8th. Johnny Antonucci 9th and 2 laps down now by the looks of things. So, no, 1 lap down.
Bosman's 2 laps down. Johnny back in the pits again though.
So, interesting strategy played by Johnny Antonucci to get the top of the fuel. He knows he's going to get the lucky dog on the next caution, so I'm wondering if that's the strategy he's playing right now. Because he can save that time, get the fuel up, and if there's another caution, he'll have the most fuel when they go back to green again, and he'll be on the lead lap again. But yeah, the top 5, all chase contenders starting together. Bob Lacavara is starting on the inside of Tony Rice, so he'll be there as well. It's just amazing to
see Chris Bouchard pick outside for the restart. Not much of a surprise. You got Chris Bouchard in the lead, Cody Eldred second, Tyler Graff is 4th, Tyler Vickery 3rd, Tyler Graff 4th, Mike Whitaker in 5th, Tony Rice 6th, Bob Lacavara 7th.
And Chris Bouchard getting off to an early start again. As soon as the pace car jumped off, he was on the loud pedal. Tyler Graff stealing that 3rd place away from Tyler Vickery. Not the restart that Tyler Vickery wanted. Mike Whitaker dropping back quite rapidly with Tony Rice.
I know he changed lanes. Like he changed lanes for the finish line.
Okay.
It's a no-no.
Tyler Graff did?
No, Mike Whitaker. Top line before we got to start finish. Which might be something right before we leave the pit.
Well, that might explain why he dropped back then. Yeah, look at the battle at the front now. All 4 chase contenders. Cody Eldred now in the lead. Chris Bouchard in 2nd place. Tyler Graff sitting in 3rd. With Tyler Vickery now up his gearbox. But
Graff looks very, or at least on the front straightaway, doesn't get a bad run. Graff looks very Chris Bouchard for that run flop.
Tyler Vickery will be very frustrated with that restart. I mean, he was in 3rd place and just Tyler Graff just absolutely robbed him on that restart. Tyler Graff is actually looking to try and pass Chris Bouchard now with Cody Eldred now in the lead. That's the 2nd time in a row that Cody Eldred has caught Chris Bouchard up after the restart and passed him. So Cody Eldred is doing pretty well. Yeah, you may be able to get away, but I'm going to catch you and pass you. So
yeah, the thing with these cars is they push such a big that it makes it extremely easy to pull up on the back of somebody. Out here to lose half a second or so before pulling up onto the back of somebody and make passes. That could be part of the reason why, even despite the fact that Bouchard gets better reason, it could be why Cody Eldred is so eager to so easily get back up to that. Tyler Graff is outside of Chris Bouchard for Vickery looking to the outside as well.
And Chris Bouchard dropping back to 3rd place. Tyler Vickery is all over the back of Chris Bouchard, but Chris Bouchard must be having a few issues there. Maybe with a grip issue. Did he take a wrong line into the corner? But yeah, he's dropping back a bit, and now Tyler Graff is making a move on Cody Eldred. Getting a run on him going into turn 1. Can he make a move? No, he's not quite close enough, but he's there. Cody Eldred getting a gap up again, but they are very, very close, and it's very, very a lot of respect being given, but again, one mistake being made and they'll be all over the back of them.
Absolutely. Tyler Graff getting very aggressive with the back of Cody. Like he's pushing him down the front straightaway. Graff is very aggressive. He's really trying to find a way past the number 14 of Cody Eldred. Same with Chris Bouchard. He's trying to find a way around Tyler Graff.
meanwhile, let's take a look back in the back on the film. Mike Whitaker has now dropped back to
Eldred, Bouchard, I believe. Eldred, Bouchard, Lacavara. Lots of chase contenders involved. I'm trying to look and see what exactly happened. Looks like contact between Tyler Graff. Or Eldred just lost it on the bottom. Exited too, just like quite a few other people have so far this race. His car just spun on its own coming off of turn number 2. Eldred got clipped by Bouchard. I think Bouchard might have wicked. I'm not 100% sure. But Vickery got through. Whitaker clipped the back of Cody Eldred.
Oh, wow.
Not sure how much damage that gave him, but Lacavara hit very hard.
So a lot of chase contenders involved in such a big wreck.
Absolutely. I said Lacavara hit Eldred very hard, then hit Moskowitz. Terry Adams then hit Dylan Moskowitz, who was slowed to try to avoid the accident. And big damage for Terry Adams, as well as Dylan. I think that took out pretty much everybody except for Tyler Graff and Tyler Vickery.
It's big chase implications there for the race.
Absolutely, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cody had the tow. Yeah, Cody had the tow. Antonucci still lap down, but I think he got incident points from that wreck, so he will not get the lucky dog.
That's unfortunate. I mean,
yeah, as of now, Bob Lacavara is a lap down. Terry Adams is a lap down. And then Chris Bouchard, Tony Rice, Tyler Vickery, Mike Whitaker, and Tyler Graff are the only ones on the lead lap.
Oh, wow. So, big shake-ups in the field, guys. I'm sorry my internet cut out just as it happened. Luckily, we had Quentin on hand to see what happened. Just trying to get my stream set up again because it all messed up. But yeah, we've got we're under caution again. At the moment, we've got Johnny Antonucci's at the front of the field, but he's going for a wave run. 1 second now. Tyler
Graff came back down pit road, which leaves Tyler Vickery as your race leader. Bob Lacavara and Johnny Antonucci, I believe, are both trying to go for a wave around. But it leaves Tyler Vickery rather as your race leader, and it leaves Chris Bouchard in second, Tony Rice in third. One of the things I didn't expect to have to say tonight.
Yeah,
Tyler Graff in fourth, and I believe it'll be Mike Whitaker in fifth.
I mean, Tony Rice, I mean, I've got to give him the most improved driver so far. I mean, he's steadily been getting better and better as the season's gone on. I mean, he's not been in the top 5 since Milwaukee, so he's been desperate for a decent result, and I think being up there so far in this race, I mean, he's doing really well so far. I mean, given the size of the field, I'm pretty sure it's to have something to do with that. But that last caution with that many chase contenders involved, I'm pretty sure that's helped towards him getting into that top 3 right now. As we're about to go back to green. The lights are off on the pace car. Tyler Vickery has control of the field. I'd be interested to see how he restarts this one. Will he go early like Chris Bouchard did, or will he hold him down until it goes green? I'm not sure. I've never seen him do a restart from the lead before. Sorry, Tyler, I've never seen it. But
neither have I, so this should be interesting. Again, he's picked the outside. Not much of a surprise there, but so they put Chris Bouchard in second on the inside. Tony Rice in third, Tyler Graff in fourth, Mike Whitaker fifth. Mike's lined up all the way at the back of the field, though. Never mind. I'm not paying half attention, right? Eldred lined up in equivalent to 6th place, a lap down. Eldred is 2 laps down. You have Terry Adams a lap down, and we're back to green.
We're back under green, and
great Tyler Vicker. Out to, like I'd say, probably a 5-car length lead over Chris Bouchard entering turn 1.
defending his line very well. Tyler Vicker going into turn 4. But Chris Bouchard immediately steals that inside line. Is he going to make a stick? No, Tyler Graff taking that outside line and stealing second place from Chris Bouchard, just as Chris Bouchard was trying to make a move on Tyler Vickery.
So here comes Cody Eldred trying to unlap or get at least 1 lap back from your race leaders.
And I believe he'll do it as well, because that guy is going to be on a mission now to get back on the lead lap. Tyler Vickery running really wide now, and he's lost 2 positions in the process. Drops back to 3rd place now. Cody Eldred is going to be right behind him now, trying to get the lap back, just as you said. Mike Whitaker is there as well, so again, chase contenders all together, albeit with Cody Eldred 2 laps down. So
yeah, absolutely. Eldred has to be careful though running up in here, because you got the lead lap cars, all chase contenders fighting for a win. So Cody has to be careful not to make contact with any of these guys.
Most definitely, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can get back on the lead lap. I mean, there's just under 100 laps to go now, so he's got plenty of time to do it, but it looks like he's trying to race for the laps back instead of actually waiting for the cautions to come. But
absolutely, because you figure he's 2 laps down.
Yeah.
So he's got at least 3 cautions before he gets back on the lead lap, because Terry Adams is only 1 lap down.
Yeah, and if there's another caution now, Terry Adams will get that lucky dog. So that will leave Cody Eldred stuck in with 2 laps down, but he will be ahead of his teammate Dylan Moskowitz, who is also 2 laps down, and he'll get the lucky dog on the caution after that, if there is another caution. Because like I said before, they are getting long green flag runs between these cautions, and it's kind of playing into the favour of other people. Cody Eldred drops back, and Mike Whitaker makes it through, and now Mike Whitaker can actually chase down the top 3. Getting very chippy at the front there. Mike Whitaker now trying to attack Tyler Vickery. This is going to end badly. I can see it coming. The way they're all racing right now, I know they're all in single file, but they were all in single file before, and then that accident happened.
Yeah, Mike Whitaker took a look to the inside of Tyler Vickery in the middle of turn 1 and 2, but couldn't make it work. Back to single file we go. Bouchard all over the rear wing of Tyler Graff, the race lead.
I apologise if I'm not looking further back in the field, guys, but this is where the battle is at the moment. This is for the chase. This is for the championship progression spots, and we've got 4 chase contenders. We've got Tyler Graff in the lead, Chris Bouchard in 2nd, Tyler Vickery in 3rd. He was leading until he made that mistake going into turns 3 and 4 and running wide. Mike Whitaker now in 4th place. Chase contenders, Bob Lacavara 6th place, and he's 3 seconds back. Johnny Antonucci is back on the lead lap, but is down in 8th place and is quite far back. Johnny Antonucci is actually in pit road at 8.1 second pit stop. I wonder if he had some damage because of that. He's now 1 lap down. Cody Eldred 2 laps down, and Dylan Moskowitz also 2 laps down. Jose Livas is our only retirement so far tonight. Cody Eldred looks like he's trying to get a bit racy again. He's trying to look for an inside pass on Mike Whitaker, but he's not really that committed to it, so I wondered if he is waiting for the cautions now, just to see if he can get those laps back. Johnny Antonucci coming out of pit road now, staying well into the...
a 2nd lap down. It looks like Antonucci might have been a scheduled stop, and he was just staying out hoping for another quick caution.
Yeah,
but it didn't work out for him. So fall a 2nd lap down to the race leaders.
That leaves only 6 cars now on the lead lap. Tony Rice being the last car on the lead lap, and he is falling back rapidly. I'm not sure what happened. Let's have an instant replay.
Spin off of turn 2. Underneath Terry Adams and had to spin off of turn 2.
Let's go back and have a look at that, guys. Let's see what exactly happened to Tony Rice. Yeah, he got onto the grass and had a bit more of a spin. Let's go back even further than that.
Move for the race lead. Bouchard right up under the rear wing of Graff. He had to look into 1. He had to look off of turn 4, but couldn't make it work. Top 4 are pretty much nose to tail. But down the back straightaway.
As we go back and look at what happened to Tony Rice, yeah, you're right. He did get underneath Terry Adams. Managed to make it stick, but yeah, he lost the back end coming out of turn 2. And yeah, it's just the same problem that's been happening to a lot of people in this race so far. Just losing the back end, taking the wrong line going through turns 1 and 2, losing the back end and just pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. And as you said, yeah, there has been an attempt on the pass at the lead between Chris Bouchard and Tyler Graff. Tyler Graff managing to hold on to that lead. I will have those pictures up for you in a second. Tyler Graff still holding on to the lead. Chris Bouchard in 2nd, Tyler Vickery in 3rd, Mike Whittaker still in 4th, so positions are all still the same. Cody Eldred still holding on to that pack even though he's 2 laps down, so still trying to make a decent gap over Dylan Moskowitz, who's on the same lap as him, and Johnny Antonucci. The only problem is he's not going to get the lucky dog if there's another caution, because that will go to Terry Adams.
Looks like Bouchard might have just caught the fence coming off turn number 2. Got him awfully high off the corner.
Yeah, he's definitely hit the wall. He's got some severe wind damage, and that's going to invite Tyler Vickery back into the picture now as they make their way into turn 1.
Doesn't look like it's hurting him because he's able to stay right up under the back of Tyler Graff.
Which is surprisingly, because that front wing end plate is completely bent in.
As well as the rear end plate, it's one with the entire right side tub. So I'm not sure how far he's able to keep up with him, but more credit to him.
Yeah, he looks like he completely hip checked the wall, but he's managing to hold on to it. But that's showing the absolute quality of a driver that Chris Bouchard is. I mean, it's only his rookie season. He already has 2 wins. 3 wins? Is it 2 wins or 3 wins in the DW12s? I'm not sure, but he's had multiple wins already this season. He knows how to win a race. He knows how to control this car, most definitely. And even with damage, he's managing to stay with Tyler Graff and actually put him under pressure.
Looks like he did something, because that car just got extremely loose coming off of turn number 2.
And yeah, like I said, he's still managed to hold on to it, and he's still putting Tyler Graff under pressure. Tyler Vickery's still trying to come back at him, but still hasn't got the pace to try and get past him or the room. Mike Whittaker just sitting back and waiting for something to happen.
It appears to be net code to the wall because all the damage is on him. But Graff into the pit lane this time. Race leaders coming into the pits.
That leaves Chris Bouchard out in front with that wing damage, with Tyler Vickery in 2nd place now. Mike Whittaker now up to 3rd. We'll see how these pit stops shape up, because luckily, because it's only wing damage, Chris Bouchard will not burn a fast repair in this. So, oh, and Tyler Vickery goes around and hits the wall. Oh no! And there's the caution. Tyler Vickery succumbing to the same problem that everybody else has had so far tonight, with the car just snapping loose out of turn 2. Let's go back and watch that again. I mean, it seems to be falling on a lot of people tonight, Quentin, and yeah, Tyler Vickery, victim of that circumstance again.
And he's rolling going into 3, trying to limp it back.
That is unfortunate for Tyler Vickery, because he's been having such a good race so far, and for it to come undone like that is just unfortunate. And that's going to be his second fast repair burned, I'm afraid. He's still trying to limp it back, so I'm afraid he might.
Tyler Graff just got out in front of the pace car, so he will stay on the lead lap.
And Tyler Vickery's going to lose a lap here. This car is literally bouncing down pit road.
Yeah, he's got to have some sort of major suspension damage to that. Yeah, the number 14 or 24 car.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame because he showed so much promise. But you gotta remember, he should have one more quick repair if he hasn't burned it yet, so he still has a chance. But you're right though. He is going to be a lap down, at the very least 1 lap down. I believe it actually might be 2.
Yeah, and after all that, that's going to leave only 3 cars now on the lead lap. Mike Whitaker stealing the lead from Chris Bouchard just before the caution came out. Actually, I believe Bouchard's just pitted.
Bouchard pitted. Bouchard came in the pits. Whitaker stayed out probably at the lap light point. And then Tyler Graff should regain the race lead. Because he barely got out in front of the safety car. So
yeah, and here comes Mike Whitaker into pit road. So he's gonna, he's taking that point for that extra chase point, and that's given Tyler Graff the lead back with Chris Bouchard in 2nd place. So only 3 cars left on the lead lap. That's kind of taken the I don't know, the fizz out of the race a little bit, but there's still a long way to go. There's just under 80 laps to go, so we've got plenty of time for people to get back on the lead lap, but there's going to be a lot of people getting back on lead laps now. And Tyler Vickery only lost 1 lap from that, so he kind of did right by limping it back, but it kind of hurt him at the same time. Chris Bouchard must... That can't be right. His pit time says he was in pit road for 64.9 seconds. That can't be right.
Yeah, that's not right. Actually, it might be, because he's just now catching the back of the field. He still hasn't caught the back of the field.
That's amazing.
And Tyler Vickery is disconnected from the session.
That's unfortunate for Tyler. I mean, it's unfortunate. Right, I'm going to bring someone up for an interview, maybe. Let's talk to Mr. Bouchard. If I can grab him. If I can grab him.
They want to wait if they are 1 degree.
Oh, yeah. We'll grab him on the next caution then. Yeah, guys, I hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm sorry about the technical glitch we had earlier. Thank you for all the people that's talking in the chat. Cody, I saw your comment earlier. Ronnie Osm has been in the chat saying he loves the ticker. Thank you very much, Ronnie. Curtios, he says track report, we're seeing low downforce on that rear wing causing the spins.
I'm pretty sure he's race control.
Oh, is that Curtis Martin?
I'm pretty sure he asked me what the stream was about 15 minutes ago.
Okay. So yeah, he's saying there's low downforce on the rear wing that's causing the spins. So yeah, that might be what's causing it, but it's happening to too many people now. So, and it's just basically cost Tyler Vickery potential race winners. Tyler Graff gets him going on that restart, and Bouchard manages to go with him. Bob Lacavara a lap down, but manages to get the jump on Mike Whitaker.
Absolutely, and you figured Bob more than likely will fight Mike Whitaker, because right behind Mike is Johnny Antonucci, and Bob and Johnny are going to be battling for the lucky dog.
Absolutely, and Mike Whittaker making another move back on Bob Lacavara, managing to get past him. So that move on that jump on the restart was very temporary, and that means the battle between Bob and Johnny can resume again. Those two have been battling all race, pretty much. So it's good to see them back on the same piece of real estate and actually fighting for position again, even though they, like I said before, they are teammates and probably giving each other a bit more respect. But yeah, they were having a ding-dong battle earlier, now it can resume again. Meanwhile, the battle between Tyler Graff and Chris Bouchard is heating up again. 1,000th of a second, 100th of a second separating the two. Or 1/10 of a second. As they are nose to tail once again. I mean, it's very difficult to call who's going to win this race between the two because they've both been very strong. Chris Bouchard has led 45 laps of this race. Tyler Graff has led 28 of them. So he's overtaken Cody Eldred on laps led now.
Yeah, and Chris Bouchard is going to be very eager to get back by Tyler Graff before Tyler manages to get the most laps led from away from Chris Bouchard.
Yeah, and Chris Bouchard has actually led that many laps. It's going to take a lot of laps for Tyler Graff to actually take over that most laps led accomplishment, because like I said before, Chris Bouchard has led 45 of those laps and Tyler Graff has led 29, so he's going to have to lead at least another 16 laps, 15 laps now to get ahead of him on that. But Mike Whittaker, I don't know if you noticed, has started creeping up on these two again and is very soon going to be attacking either one of those. So he's going to be fighting in the picture for the lead now. So this top three are the only three cars on the lead lap. If you've just tuned in, we've had is it 6 cautions now, Quentin?
I believe so. Either 5 or 6 cautions at this point.
Yeah, the last caution was caused by Tyler Vickery getting loose out of turn 2. This has been a common problem throughout the race so far. Cars getting loose out of turn 2 and spinning out. But the worst one has happened to Tyler Vickery. He was in second place. He spun out of turn 2, hit the wall, and that ended his race, unfortunately. He was having a very good race tonight. Led 3 laps, hoping for a race win, but it just all came undone because of that incident. And that was during green flag pit stops, and thankfully, well, Tyler Graff had already pitted. Chris Bouchard and Mike Whittaker stayed out, but this might be why Tyler Graff has managed to stay in front, because he's probably on he's not on fresher tyres now because they pitted under the caution, didn't they? So my argument is pretty mute right now. So, but Terry didn't get a wave around. Lucky dog. I've just noticed.
I'm not sure why, but anyway, Chris Bouchard really trying hard to get by Tyler Graff. He's got a run around the back straightaway. Looks like he backed out of it to try to make it into turn 3.
Yeah, he doesn't want to back out of it too much though, because he's got Mike Whittaker breathing down his neck now, hoping to capitalise on strategy and well, see if he can actually get a good run on Bouchard and get around him. But as is the nature of this track, it's very difficult to pass around here, and only by luck are you going to pass around here. Anybody around here. I mean, Tyler Vickery did an amazing pass on the outside, but I'm pretty sure that was because the person on the inside that he's passing was pretty slow at that point. RPG Cartman, welcome to the chat. Hope you enjoy. Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. For the people that are watching, if you're enjoying the stream, please leave a like, and if you want to see more in the near future, please make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for maybe next time we upload something. I'm hoping that I can broadcast the IRO5 finale on Tuesday. That would be something special to watch. So if you guys are interested in seeing more action in the IndyCar Speedway League, then make sure you're around on Tuesday, because I'll try and broadcast that race. And judging by last year's IRO5 race, this one should be an absolute barnstormer. So yeah, stick around for that. We should have that there at
9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, well, 9:30 p.m. Eastern or something. Oh yeah, it's 9:10. Yeah, I'll get it now.
Anyway, back to the battle for the race lead.
Oh yeah.
Still Tyler Graff leading over Chris Bouchard and Mike Whitaker. I believe it's still Bob Lacavara. Lucky dog. It looks like Johnny Antonucci, or not Johnny Antonucci, Cody Eldred has gotten between Bob Lacavara and Johnny Antonucci, but again, Bob is a lap down. So, or no, Terry Adams as well is running after Bob, and Cody Eldred goes past Lacavara. Looks like Cody's still trying to run the leaders down so he can hopefully get his lap back. But Bob is running fourth, a lap down. Terry Adams not that far behind. Lucky dog.
Yeah, Terry Adams trying his best to stay out of trouble after unfortunately taking yet another race car to the face earlier. So I'm pretty sure he's just trying to stay out of trouble right now and just sitting at the back and running his own race. Meanwhile, at the front, we've still got the top three nose to tail as they go into turn one. Chris Bouchard is, I don't know, he's bobbing backwards and forwards. He's getting close enough to Tyler Graff, but not close enough to make a pass on him. And at the same time, Mike Whitaker he keeps almost falling into the clutches of Mike Whitaker. And if he keeps doing that, he's going to end up losing second place, and Mike Whitaker's going to keep on marching to the front. Yeah,
Bouchard is also getting very, very close to the wall, I've noticed, at least off of turn 4 especially. So he's got to be careful with that wall, because the wall will obviously end his race very, very quickly. As Graff is in the pit lane again.
That is...
Been about 20 laps though. I think they pitted like lap 103. I think it was the last pit stop.
It's lap 125 now, so 23
yeah,
laps.
That would be about right.
23 laps.
Stop was lap 101.
Yeah. So 24 laps. That's about right. Yeah, 24 laps on fuel. So Graff in pit road. That's going to hand the lead over to Chris Bouchard.
Stayed out for another lap. I believe Bouchard is coming in this time. So look for the race leader in this lap. See.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mike Whitaker's going to follow him as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh no, Bouchard stayed out. Oh no, here he comes.
No, here he comes.
That was a late entry.
I'm not sure if the sim will ping him for not following the pit entry line.
Well, we'll keep a focus on.
Like that one too much.
We'll keep an eye on him. Make sure he's
well, that has the lead over Mike Whitaker. And Mike is in this lap. Yeah, Mike Whitaker's in this time from the race lead.
And Cody Eldred
is out.
Yeah, Cody Eldred just spun on pit, coming out of pit road. Tried to get the power down too early and just looped it round. So
Mike Whitaker could not pit because he wasn't to the pit cones yet, so he couldn't come down pit lane that time. That will trap Tyler Graff a lap down.
Oh, Tyler Graff is going to be furious about that. Meanwhile, Cody Eldred, let's go back and look at that. He came out of pit road as normal, nothing wrong with him. And then all of a sudden, got the power down too early, changed up a gear, and then there went the back end. He just went round, hit the grass, and yep, he was facing the wrong way in pit road, and that's what brought out the caution. But Tyler Graff is now, Cody Eldred is now 3 laps down, so I'm not sure what happened to him before that.
He pitted and later did.
Oh, yeah.
Same reason Graff is a lap down.
That's gonna be advantage Chris Bouchard because he's going to take over the lead now. Mike Whitaker is taking the pit side. So I think this race is going to fall to who's going to be better between Chris Bouchard and Mike Whitaker, because they are literally the only two left on the lead lap now.
Tyler Graff got a waiver on this time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he got the lucky dog actually, so he's just on his way around now.
So Tyler Vickery will be in the Tyler Graff will be in the picture then, but he's going to be at the back of the field because he's going to get an EOL for being the lucky dog. So he's going to fight.
Exactly it.
He's got to fight his way through a few cars before he can get to the front and battle with Chris Bouchard and Mike Whitaker. Is it me or is Bouchard trying to burn fuel off because he's revving his engine? Bouchard's coming in again.
Might be just coming down to the top off since there's only 2 cars in the lead lap. Because in comes Graff as well.
Ah. So that's going to hand the lead back over to Mike Whitaker. The thing is about Mike Whitaker though, when it comes to playing the fuel game, Mike Whitaker is probably the best player at it. So I'm wondering if this strategy that Bouchard and Graff are playing, it might kind of backfire on them in the near future.
I don't know. If my math is correct, it's still, or if they're going 24 laps on a tank, we have 50 laps to go. They are going to be very, very close on fuel. Their plan is probably to top up as much as they can to try to stretch it on one more stop.
Bouchard's staying in pit road. Something's wrong. There he goes. Chris Bouchard having to stay in pit road a bit longer. It wasn't a time penalty because they could only be served on the green, so unless he took his fast repair off and got a manual repair for the maybe for the damage he took when he hit the wall earlier.
Like I said, I think that might have been just net-coded damage because it repaired itself 4 or 5 laps after. So I'm not sure why, but.
So the first car a lap down is actually going to be Johnny Antonucci. So next caution round he will get the lucky dog. Bob Lacavara also 2 laps down. No, 1 lap down? Wait. Oh, they're going to be 1 lap down now as the lights go off on the pace car. Mike Whitaker in first, Tyler Graff in second, Chris Bouchard third after an extra long pit stop. Johnny Antonucci is now in fourth. Bob Lacafara rounds out your top 5. Terry Adams is 6th. Tony Royce is 7th. Cody Aldred is 8th after bringing out that last caution. And Dylan Moskowitz is 9th. And Tyler Vickery, who's retired, actually rounds out the top 10. So Tyler Vickery's going to get a top 10 by default. So not all bad. Not going to help towards his chase aspirations, but still not bad. As we go green again, and Mike Whitaker gets a decent run. Tyler Graff goes with him though, and Bouchard is there too. So all 3 leaders together once again. All 3 chase contenders together once again as they make their way towards turn 3. Tyler Graff has got the inside line, gets the clear, takes the lead away from Mike Whitaker, and here comes Chris Bouchard as well. He wants that second place as well.
Absolutely. Now the thing is, with everybody being within a lap or 2 of being able to make it a 1 stop, does somebody like Chris Bouchard sit and ride and try to save enough fuel to make the extra lap, or does he go for it and try to lead the race?
Knowing Chris Bouchard like I do, he'll probably try and take the position. which he's trying to do now. He's having a look at Mike Whitaker, as Mike Whitaker also took a look at Tyler Graff. So these guys are racing for position. Chris Bouchard, I don't think he is in any mood whatsoever to sit back and just wait for things to happen. He wants that position now, and by God, he will take it if he wants to.
Absolutely. He doesn't look in any sort of mood to save fuel. But
No.
that's just that. Whitaker looks like he's trying to go for the race lead from Tyler Graff.
As they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Gap still the same between the top three. As we look further back to Terry Adams, he's sitting in 6th place right now in front of Tony Rice. They're all on the same lap. Terry Adams, Tony Rice and Cody Eldred is 1 lap back from... No, he's still on the same lap as well. So these guys fighting for 6th place right now. Not sure if Tony and Terry want to give Cody a bit of respect due to the fact that Cody's in the chase. Oh, maybe not then, because Tony just cut Cody's nose off.
Absolutely, doesn't look like he's in any sort of mood to give Cody extra room.
Other than the leaders, that's our other big battle on the track. Going to Johnny Antonucci, he's yet again on the same piece of track with Bob Lacavara, and they are fighting over 4th place, so that's a top 5 battle right there. Dylan Moskowitz is sitting at the back there on his own, but his race has been compromised since the start, unfortunately, so he's got no choice but to sit back there.
Yeah, Eldred has made his way by, he's going after Terry Adams for Peter 6.
And Cody just makes it look just that easy as he moves his way up into 6th place now. Now all he's got to do is try and chase after leaders and hope he can fight for a lap back. If he can do that on the next caution, he'll have the wave around. He'll be back on the lead lap. No,
and
back.
here you have Whitaker and Graff and Bouchard all tight for the race lead. Bouchard had a look in the 3 and 4, but couldn't make anything of it. Looking again down here to turn number 1, but again, can't make anything of it. He will slot back in to be number 3.
It looks like Tyler Graff is starting to build a bit of a gap over Mike Whitaker. I'm not sure if that's just me or if... Bouchard has actually, speaking of that, has actually decided to drop back a bit himself.
I think Bouchard trying to get a run through the quick slingshot by Mike Whitaker.
As we are now...
He's getting a massive arrow bush like he just did there. And he had to roll way out of the front.
As we now have 40 laps remaining, and there's a caution. Tony Rice running through the grass. Let's have a look and see what's happened to him.
Lost it on the exit of 2 again by the looks of it.
Let's have a look as he's right behind Terry Adams. It's always involved. It was involving Terry Adams as well. He made a move under Terry Adams last time and spun it. Did exactly the same thing at exactly the same point. Coming out of turn 2. Yeah. Except he didn't hit the wall like Tyler Vickery did. It was exactly the same place as Tyler Vickery. And unfortunately, Tony Rice is the big loser out of that battle. Again, involving Terry Adams.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job by Tony Rice not to hit the wall, though. Not to hit that inside wall.
Yeah, I think he had them locked down as soon as he knew what was going on. That's put him behind Dylan Moskowitz now, who is 3 laps down and in 9th place.
Leaders are in the pits this time, so we'll guarantee they make it on 1 stop, but all 3 leaders are in.
Yeah, they won't make it to the end because there's still 39 laps to go, but...
Yeah, so this will guarantee they'll make it on 1 stop.
That gives Cody Eldred, Terry Adams, Dylan Moskowitz and Tony Rice the positions to be given a wave around once we go 1 to green.
They exited the pits the same way they came in. Tyler Graff, your leader. Mike Whitaker, second. And Chris Bouchard, third. For some reason, though, Bob Lacavara came down under that caution. So I figured he would have stayed out, because he should have been the one in line for the lucky dog.
Yeah, he would have been.
Yeah, he was the one in line for the lucky dog. I'm not sure why he pitted, but that hands it over to Johnny Antonucci, which will put 4 cars back on your lead lap.
And that's going to make it a bit more interesting, folks, because that means there's going to be 4 chase contenders on the lead lap. And Johnny Antonucci, he's been on some pretty good form recently. I mean, in the Icebreaker Series race at Talladega a couple of weeks back, he actually won that race. It was his first ever ISL win. So Johnny's actually getting better, and he's actually learning how to win races, as Cody Eldred and Tony Rice both come down pit road. They're not going to get their wave arounds now because of that. That's going to let Dylan Moskowitz and Terry Adams get the wave arounds instead. Well, they're still going to get the wave arounds. Cody and Tony are not after pitting, so I'm not sure what their strategy is there. But going back to the front there, we've got Tyler Graff still out in front, Mike Whitaker in second, Chris Bouchard in third. Johnny Antonucci now back on the lead lap. He sits in 4th place. He must be very happy with that. Having a think there. I know how you feel, Curtis. I've been in that job myself. I know how race control feels. Now, we should be going 1 to green here. I hope we are. And we do. The lights go off on the pace car, and that should let Terry Adams and Dylan Moskowitz at least get their laps back. There they go. Tyler Graff picking the outside line as we were about to go green again. Mike Whitaker obviously being forced on the inside. That means Chris Bouchard is going to be right behind Mike Whitaker as the green flag goes again. Cody Eldred is going to be on the outside, even though he is 2 laps down. Tony Rice is going to be right behind him, also 2 laps down.
Watch out for Cody Eldred on this restart, because he's going to try real hard to get himself back onto the lead lap. So he's going to be something you're going to have to watch out for, because I have a feeling to be real aggressive on this restart.
He's still showing us 2 laps down, so he's just going to be getting 1 lap back. So now on the next caution, if there is another caution, he'll get the wave around on the lucky dog. And
yeah, there we go.
Tyler Graff goes early again.
Eldred around Chris Bouchard for second, trying to make him look at around. Maybe him and Tyler Graff.
As Mike Whitaker defends his position against Cody Eldred, not give him the opportunity to try and race for that lap back, and now Cody Eldred actually gets the inside pass. So he is now ahead of Mike Whitaker. Now he's just got to catch Tyler Graff.
Eldred also opened a hole up for Chris Bouchard, who's underneath Mike Whitaker for second. Looks like he got real tight down the middle of 1 and 2 and had to back out of it, but did try to make the move.
It just seems that no matter how hard he tries, Chris Bouchard cannot get past Mike Whitaker. And that's the good thing about Mike Whitaker. He knows how to defend his position as well. He seems like, and that's why he's like the defending DW12 champion. He's done this before. Mike Whitaker has been in this position before, and he's won championships like this before. As I've already said, he's the reigning DW12 champion, and he's hoping to point his way into the finale again at Indianapolis, and he's going the right way about it, as Cody Eldred has now caught Tyler Graff. He's taken the inside line.
Absolutely, there goes Cody Eldred back or through, and looks like he may have opened up a hole for Whitaker. Whitaker couldn't get it done. Looked like he had to understeer the center of the corner, but he couldn't get by. But now you got to wonder about Cody Eldred. What will the dirty air Cody do in terms of to the lead battle? It looks like Cody's sliding, or it looks like Tyler's sliding up the track in the middle of the corners because he's getting the dirty air off the back of Cody Eldred. So could open a hole for Mike Whitaker.
As Chris Bergerard takes a look as well, he's looking for gaining position as Mike Whitaker cuts his nose off completely as we're at 30 laps to go. Going down the backstretch, going towards turn 3. Cody Eldred still staying ahead, so he's only 1 lap down now.
About 6 laps, we should see people come down to their final stop.
Actually, Cody Eldred's starting to gap the leaders now, so he's trying to make that position that he's in as comfortable as possible, and that now he's only 1 lap down. Laps remaining. Positions are like this. Tyler Graff is leading the race with Mike Whitaker right behind him, right behind Mike Whitaker, and looking to make a pass for second place is Chris Bergerard. In 4th place is Johnny Antonucci, 6, quite a few seconds back, and he's dropping back even further. Johnny Antonucci is bringing it pit side.
This can't be for his last stop. Seems like he's coming in awfully early, unless you know something I don't, which very well could be, but seems like he's pitting awfully early.
Yeah. The leaders are about to come round the last corner now, so that's going to put him a lap down again.
Yeah, here go your leaders by. Still single file, the race lead. Tyler Graff leading over Mike Whitaker and Chris Bouchard. The thing is, that's going to drop Antonucci, I believe, 2 laps down again. So, again, that also just comes down where it wasn't, if this is indeed because he was out of fuel, it doesn't seem like it was very worth it for him to stay out. As Graff takes a look to the inside of Cody Eldred, coming up turn 4, but decides to get back up in line.
Cody Eldred determined to hold station in front of Tyler Graff. He wants to be able to be only 1 lap down so he can fight for that lucky dog position. But the way things are right now, doesn't look like there's going to be a caution anytime soon, so does he continue to fight and hope for a caution so he can get back on the lead lap, or does he fall back and let the leaders fight it out for the win? It's a tough call to make.
Looks like his plan is that was the right for the leaders to get a caution. He ends up only being 1 lap down instead of getting trapped 2 laps down, which I don't blame him for at all. It's smart strategy, but you wonder at what point is Tyler going to get mad, or at what point is Tyler going to get sick of Cody running in front of him and make a very aggressive move to get by and put Cody back between himself and position number 2.
Problem is, Tyler doesn't want to be too aggressive because it might end in tears and hand the race lead over to Mike Whitaker, who is actually taking a low line and using his teammate Terry Adams as a pick there almost to try and see if he can make a hole past Tyler Graff. But Terry actually backed off and let the guys through. 22 laps remaining. That's your top 3 right there, folks. Tyler Graff in the lead, Mike Whitaker second, Chris Bouchard in third. All 3 of them fighting out for the lead. There were 4 cars on the lead lap, but now Johnny Antonucci, as Quentin just alluded to, just lost 2 laps due to having to take a pit side. Bob Lacavara is the only one 1 lap down now, but it looks like and here they come. Tyler Graff is taking the pit side so he can This is his money stop now. This is the last one, so he's going to try and come out in the lead. As Chris Bouchard
side by side for the race lead off of turn number 4. Bouchard almost clear of Mike and start finish, but Bouchard will be the race leader by 68 thousandths of a second.
Chris Bouchard gets the clear going into turn 2, coming out of turn 2 now into the backstretch. He does have the lead position.
He's got Cody Eldred in front of him that he's got to worry about.
Well, that's the thing. He's gonna try and use maybe Cody Eldred's draft to try and get away from Mike Whitaker. Hopefully, might actually save him some fuel in that case as well.
Tyler has officially gone a lap down. The one thing Graf is hoping for now is that we do not get a caution, as I believe Bouchard is going to be in this time.
And he is. That's another late entry, and it's we got loose.
No. Great save by Chris coming into the pit lane.
Yeah, but I think that's handed the lead over to Mike Whitaker if he can, or Tyler Graf. That little mistake there might have cost Chris Bouchard the lead.
I'm not sure because Graf doesn't have a drafting partner. And for them for those 2 laps, Chris Bouchard had Cody Eldred and Mike Whitaker's drafting partners out there.
And Mike Whitaker's staying out. He's trying to run that fuel tank right down to its last fumes. And this is what I mean about Mike Whitaker. He knows how to play that fuel game, and he will run it down to fumes if he has to, in order to get the best.
Very close. Bouchard's pitting out, and Graf is going into turn 1 right now. Mike Whitaker's coming in the pits.
Bob Lacavara up to 2nd place, but he's a lap down.
Bouchard is just out in front of the race leader, or out in front of Tyler Graf, but he's still not up to speed. It's gonna be very close. Turn number 4, Graf right up behind Chris Bouchard. Bouchard running very defensive down into turn 1. Gives Tyler Graf his clear of Chris Bouchard.
And Chris Bouchard knew that he wasn't up to speed, and there he goes. He makes another move on the inside of Tyler Graf. He's got fresher tyres than Tyler now. And Bouchard gets the clear, and he's up into the lead.
Tyler, I don't know if Tyler or not, back side by side coming off a turn, or coming down the front straightaway. They are both, I believe, going to clear Mike Whitaker. Still side by side off of turn 2. Yeah, they've cleared Whitaker. Whitaker's just now coming out of the, or just now exiting turn number 2, but they cleared him. Still side by side. This is going to punch an absolutely massive hole in the air, which might bring Whitaker back.
I think Whitaker might be way too far behind because he is over 5 seconds behind the leaders, but what a battle we are seeing with 15 laps to go between the top 2. Chris Bouchard and Tyler Graf fighting out for that win, that all-important win that's going to send them to Indianapolis. Tyler Graf is a hungry driver because he lost his IRO 5 crown and now he wants to try and challenge for the DW12 crown. Chris Bouchard has been one of our most winningest drivers this season in the DW12s. He would love to get himself into Indianapolis and get another win under his belt.
Oh, absolutely. Another thing we need to think about too, while they're running like this, is all the discarded rubber and all the marbles down against the inside wall where Chris is running down the straightaways. So we got to remember all the debris and all that stuff all on the bottom lane, and how will the pickup affect him going off into the corners? The loss of grip.
That's a good point, because the marbles can be a problem for anybody, and you get one wrong move on those marbles and you'll be up into the wall. But that's not affecting Chris Bouchard, who's made a very wild dive down to the grass just to defend from Tyler Graf and keep that lead going into turn 3 and 4 now. About 12 laps to go at the line. This is getting very tense as we're getting close to the end of this race. Tyler Graf making a look on the outside going into turn 1. Can't make it stick. Chris Bouchard has the preferred line.
The thing with the way Bouchard's running, though, is pitching it down. You've seen a lot of cars being loose trying to run real low like that coming off the turn.
Yeah, he needs to be careful coming out of turn 2 and making moves like that, because a lot of cars are spun doing that, and he doesn't want to catch himself out and end his race in such a manner. That'll hand Tyler Graf the win easily, because they're now 5.5 seconds ahead of Whitaker and 18.6 seconds ahead of Johnny Antonucci, who's moved his way back up to 4th place and back on the lead lap. But Bouchard is doing very well to defend that inside line as we're coming to 10 to go at the line. 10 laps to go.
If I'm honest, Graf has to get to the inside of Bouchard if he wants to get by. So we might see something similar to the IndyCar race, the actual IndyCar race this past year at Gateway, where you saw Newgarden kind of force his way down to the inside and kind of hit check Pagano out of the way. You might see something similar here, because if he can't get to the inside, I think he's going to be the better striker.
You're absolutely right there, Quentin. I mean, this track is hard enough to pass as it is. As Tyler Graf gets the inside line going out of turn 2, this could help him in his favour, but he chooses the outside line. What an interesting move right there.
Bouchard got clear, so it wasn't going to help him very much, but Graf tries to set up again for another run down the front straightaway. It looks like he's going to have a run, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make a look into turn 1.
Bouchard leads, Tyler Graf is second, Mike Whittaker third, Johnny Antonucci fourth, Bob Lacavara holding on to that 5th spot. Is on the same lap as Terry Adams, Cody Eldred and Dylan Moskowitz now, who's up into 8th place. Tony Royce is 3 laps down now after an incident. Not sure what happened to him, but he's 3 laps down now. But going back to this lead battle, I haven't seen anybody else. I haven't panned the camera to anybody else, because this is just exciting as Tyler Graf tries to grab that inside line again. Chris Bouchard blocks him.
Bouchard's got to be very careful, or he's going to be catching the attention of race control for the blocking.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where it's getting a bit excessive at this point. He's got to be careful.
Running very close to that inside pit wall. Tyler Graf trying everything he can to get past Bouchard.
Graf with a crossover. He didn't quite get the run coming off the corner, so he's going to set back up on the outside. He's got to try to hold Bouchard down as far as he can down the straightaways, and leave Chris at a really bad angle on entry. Because right now it seems like he's letting him.
As we're heading to 5 laps to go now at the line. Anything to play for between Tyler Graf and Christopher Bouchard. Chris Bouchard has the lead going into turn 2. Oh, and Chris Bouchard spins! If that was always going to catch him out, making that move coming out of turn 2, and it's finally happened. Chris Bouchard has handed the race to Tyler Graf seemingly. 5 laps remaining. I'm not sure if we're going to go green again. And I was going to bring him up for an interview, but I think he might be very angry right now. Johnny Antonucci had to pit again, by the way. He is 1 lap down.
It's giving Bouchard back 2nd place over Mike Whittaker.
He's still going to go and get that car repaired, though, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get a one lap sprint.
I don't believe so. I think this is it. Because the pits are going to open this time for lead lap cars. 178 will be open for lap down cars. 179 will be 2 to go, and then 1 to green will be 180.
As there is our potential race winner, Tyler Graf. I don't know if you noticed, Quentin, but just as Chris spun his car out, Tyler Graf actually ran wide and hit the outside wall and damaged his front wing.
Based on what I saw on my screen, that was he was like a foot away from the wall.
Yeah, it looks like the whole right side of his car has been smashed in.
Yeah,
Bob Lacavara gets.
I think it was something similar than what happened to Bouchard early in the race, where he was a long ways off because it just fixed itself. I think it was just a similar situation where Vic didn't do it to hit the wall and he really didn't.
Yeah, as Bob Lacavara gets a wave around, back, and he's back on the lead lap now. So he's going to get given 4th place after Johnny Antonucci got his strategy wrong and had to pit with 5 laps to go. Plus, Johnny Antonucci, I'm pretty sure, has got an EOL now because he pit just as the caution came out. So unfortunate for Johnny Antonucci there, but if the lights don't go off now, that means the win has been given to Tyler Graf, and all because of a simple mistake by Chris Bouchard. We actually called it, Quentin. We knew it was going to happen, and unfortunately it happened. So
Yeah, this is it.
I'm not going to call him up for an interview just yet because we're going to make sure the race is finished first. But yeah, Bouchard is lucky to finish at all, let alone second.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of surprised iRacing gave him back second place. I figured they would have sent him back to third, at least behind Mike.
Yeah. But what an interesting race, though, Quentin. What are your thoughts on it? Now we're officially over.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic battle at the end of the race.
That battle between Chris Bouchard and Tyler Graff was probably one of the best battles we've seen all season. And yeah, it's just a shame that it ended the way it did because I wanted to see that battle go all the way to the checker flag. But we knew the kind of moves that Bouchard was taking, that Bouchard was making coming out of turn 2, judging by what happened to previous drivers on previous laps, that it was going to catch him out, and it did. And Chris Bouchard, I'm afraid, has only got himself to blame for that.
Yeah, absolutely. To be fair to Chris, running up in the front, he may have not known what was going on in the back of the pack with people losing it like that. But you are right. It was something that was happening to a lot of other cars, and it was only a matter of time before the tires got worn to a point where it was going to spin on him.
Yeah, we'll get an interview with him post-race, but at the moment this is going to belong to Tyler Graff. He fought so hard for that first place, and yeah, it was gifted to him, but he worked hard for that win, and we'll get an interview with him as well in a second. As we're coming around 3 and 4, Tyler Graff decided he wants to be the pace car, so and there they come across the line. Your winner at Gateway in the first race in the second round of the chase of the DW12s is Tyler Graff. Congratulations to Tyler Graff. He punches his ticket, and he will be at Indianapolis in the Final 4. Now I'm just going to grab an interview with him, if I can find him. And he's not on TeamSpeak, so that's about right. Let's talk to second place Chris Bouchard. One second. I'll be with you 1 second. Oh, there's Tyler. Tyler Graff, Sam up in the booth. You got me, bud?
I got you. Oh, is that the right? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. What an amazing battle at the end. Did you actually think you were actually going to get that?
I knew if I stayed on the outside and kept pushing him through turn 1, it'd happen eventually. I don't know if there was enough laps left for it, but obviously the tires would kind of go in a snap, so I'm just glad I didn't collect both of us. I was actually content running second after all that, and it just happened to work out.
Yeah, I mean, that battle between you and Chris Bouchard was easily one of the best battles we've seen all season, and yeah, I'm surprised you guys kept it clean. Unfortunately for Chris Bouchard, he made the same mistake that a lot of drivers made coming out of turn 2. Were you worried that your car was going to do the same thing coming out of turn 2?
I did it on like lap 50 or something, trying to pass Bouchard for the lead. So when I went to the back because of the EOL, I started playing around with the lines, and I figured out if I exit turn 4 high, I can get to the outside of people and then force them on the inside into turn 1. So I think the wreck was not a good thing, but it gave me a chance to sit back and kind of see what was happening.
So it was like justice for you because you spun behind Bouchard, and then it happened to you while you were trying to fight him for the lead. Yeah,
that's too bad. I really wanted to see that go green. Like I said, I would have been fine finishing second if that's how good the racing was. It was kind of like Newgarden and Pagenaud's race here last season. So
yeah, that's what Quentin said. It was comparing it to that.
Yeah, I'm pumped though. I'm going to Indy. Unfortunately, don't get to defend the IRO5 championship, but I'm not running those next year due to Lionheart. So I'm pumped to go and hopefully win the DW12 championship.
Yeah, I mean, losing your IRO5 crown must have been a big kick in the junk, but hopefully you can get some redemption by claiming the DW12 championship. Is there anyone you want to thank for tonight's victory?
I'd like to thank my team. They're absent tonight, but they're always cheering me on. Got to shout out Cartoon Heart, my clothing company, and just everybody who put together the race. It was a great race, and I'm glad we didn't pace the whole time. It looked like during practice it might be kind of sketchy, but we got good drivers in here, so it worked out for everybody, I think.
All right, thank you, Tyler. I'll move you back down to your room now. Tyler, can you move yourself? Sorry, I'm having some problems here.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, thank you. Now, sorry guys, will be 1 second. Just having a few problems. No. That was Tyler Graff, everybody. Now we're gonna speak to Chris Bouchard, our second place finisher. If I can grab him. There we go. Chris Bouchard, Sam in the booth. You got me, bud.
Yes, I do.
Tough luck at the end, buddy. You were having one hell of a battle with Tyler Graff. What happened there?
I just snapped out from under me. Apparently, that was the first time it happened to me the entire race. It happened to other people, but man, that was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch up here in the booth. I mean, you seem to be up there at the front the whole time. What was your strategy? Just to stay in the lead or just defend the bottom line?
My strategy was to stay in touch with the leaders, and then if it stayed green, I'd try to pull away through the pit cycles. But sadly, that didn't happen. I had a huge lead on that one green flag run. Then the caution came out. So
yeah. I mean, you, Tyler, and Mike managed to get yourselves on your own on the lead lap. I mean, pit strategies really did work in your guys' favour, especially with the cautions coming as they did. Did that help your confidence in any way, knowing that you were the only 3 on the lead lap and one of you were going to win it?
yeah, it helped calm the nerves and everything, knowing that, oh, I can't lose another position or anything like that. But still, even though we finished one lap in front of everyone else, the points, it's still 1 point behind me in the chase and all that. So it's going to be interesting next week.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, Chris, unlucky tonight. You had the win there, but it just fell away from you, and hopefully you can get that win and get yourself into Indy next week when we go to Kentucky.
Oh yeah, just have a clean race at Kentucky, get to Indianapolis, go for a championship.
Oh yeah. We'll see you then, buddy.
Alright, thank you.
Just move you down 1 second. Oh, no. Now we're going to grab third place finisher Mike Whitaker. I don't think he's in TeamSpeak, so we'll... oh no, there he is. I'll grab him there. Mike Whitaker, Sam up in the booth, you got me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Tough luck at the end. You were battling for the lead for the most part in that race, but you fell away at the end. What happened there?
I was pushing it on that last green flag pit stop, and when I came out of the pits and around through 1 and 2 on the access road, I started to lose it, and I had to get off the gas, and it cost me my backstretch run, and it cost me about 5 seconds on the track.
Yeah, we were kind of speculating that you might have been playing the fuel game because we obviously know that you do it so well. Was the fuel? Were you backtracking with the fuel stops and seeing if you could maybe make it to the front eventually?
No, it really wasn't. I was watching it. I mean, you know, I always do. But the way that those last cautions came around, it was a one-stop race, and it just came down to where you chose to take it. There was about a 6 or 7 lap window where any time in that window you did your stop and you could go the rest of the way. It wasn't really much of a strategy. It was just time in that last stop.
All right then, Mike. Congratulations on the third place. Next week we go to Kentucky. How are you feeling about that race?
I like Kentucky. I did good there in the 5. I had some bad luck, but I usually run good there, so I'm optimistic.
All right then, Mike. Yeah, next week should be a fun race. We'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll see you on the top step of the podium, and we'll see you at Indy.
That's where I want to be. Thanks, Sam. I'll see you.
No worries. All right, now that we've got the interviews out the way, Quentin, what are your final thoughts on the race?
Really great battle between Tyler and Chris at the very end of the race. Would have liked to see it go green, but that's just what happens. That lane was, or the bottom line was given up, and he just kept running down there, and eventually the car gave up. So unfortunate, but it was a great race. Yeah,
it was fantastic to see. Unfortunate for Chris Bouchard for letting the tires get down that far, so it's just basically gave up on him and spun away. Maybe he didn't know about the other cars spinning out at that point, but yeah, he just fell to the same mistake that Tyler Vickery and everybody else fell, and unfortunately that cost him the race win. And yeah, congratulations to Tyler Graff. Now that's out of the way, let's go to our final race results as we start to wrap things up here. Okay, finishing in the top step of the podium, we have Tyler Graff after claiming a unlikely race win after Chris Bouchard spun on the 5 to go. He finishes second. Mike Whitaker came in third, completing the podium. Bob Lacavara finishing fourth after getting the lucky dog on the caution. Terry Adams coming home in the top 5 in 5th place. Johnny Antonucci falling to 6th eventually, with after having to make an extra pit stop, kind of getting his strategy wrong, but finishing 6th. Cody Eldred bouncing back to 7th after the big wreck he had earlier in the race. Dylan Moskowitz, his race has been horrible this tonight, but he came home with 8th place, so not a bad result in the end for him. Tony Rice comes home in 9th. Tyler Vickery retired a long time ago. He's comes home with a default 10th place and 78 laps down. The rest of our results, we have Jose Olivas in 11th place, rounding out our field. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for our race tonight. I hope you had a good time watching it. Like I said, this was a presentation of the RobertsTextJobs.com IndyCar Speedway League, brought to you by Beaufort Broadcasting Company, the other BBC. I hope you had a good time watching tonight. I had a good time broadcasting it. Like I said, Sorry it's not on the Indycar Speedway League channel, but this was just a test stream for me just to see if I could broadcast it. And hopefully I've been able to entertain you. And once again, I apologise for the internet cutting out midway through the race, but hopefully that'll be solved next time I broadcast this. So from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, and Quentin Young in the booth with me, we both wish you good night, and we'll see you next time.